Hello everybody, welcome back to ManBunBooks, and today I have a GUSH review for you. We're talking about Guns of the Dawn by Adrian Tchaikovsky. This is a fantasy, flintlock fantasy, which means there's gunpowder and muskets, standalone book. Man alive, this book is good. So, here's the pitch. Non-spoiler first. You have this country, kind of based on not Victorian, but kind of older England, called Lascane. You have, like, the noble women with the dresses and the frills, and they drink the tea, and, oh yes, we're going to the balls this weekend. This weekend, yes, bring the carriage, of course. George, could you bring the carriage, please? I wonder which young men will be there. Like, that sort of lady, right? There's a neighboring country called Denland who overthrows their king, is the story you get. They overthrow their king, who's cousin to the king of Lascane, establish a parliament, and invade Lascane. So the bunch of soldiers go out to fight the Denlanders, and the war's going okay. They get reports in the press that everything's good all the time. War keeps going. All of a sudden there's a draft for more men. Then there's another draft. And then there's a missive that comes out that says they are going to start drafting the women because they are so close. They just need one more big push against Denland. You follow a noblewoman named Emily Marshwick. She is from a minor noble house. They're an old family, but not like one of the oldest families. She has never really done a hard day's work in her life. She has an older sister named Mary, who has a kid. Her husband is already off fighting in the war, named Tubal. And then her younger sister, Alice, who is just so concerned. Like, her biggest concern with the war is that, there's no gentlemen at the balls anymore. Oh, who should I marry? Like, she's that type of person, right? Emily goes to the war. So you have, like, noblewoman... Oh yes, concerned with the tea, of course, yes. Stomping around in the swamps with a musket. Picking off fools from Denland. It is fantastic. Tchaikovsky has woven this is one of my new favorite books. The story is incredible. It goes so deep into war. How it changes you. The trauma she experiences at the front. The disillusionment that's pulled away from her eyes where... she's not the same person that she was when she comes back. And you don't know if she's going to come back sometimes. And it kind of explores the idea of how war changes you. And the things that were so important to you before you left don't seem that important when you come home. There's romance in this book as well. There's kind of the mayor of their little town. He works for the king. His name is Mr. Northway, Kristen Northway. He's kind of this spidery little dude with a black coat, and he's an adversary of Emily's family. Like, he's kind of a villain, kind of underhanded and sneaky, a little bit shitty. And he just goes around and sneaks around. Emily hates him, and she's always in there like fighting for the poor and fighting for her family and all this stuff, arguing with him. But she can appreciate his wit, and they almost duel each other with their minds sometimes. And there's another man she meets named Giles Scavian, who is a handsome young warlock of the king, who she falls in love with in the military. And so it's kind of a little bit of a love triangle between, a man she's familiar with, hates, but can appreciate the intellectual side of him, and the dashing young, warlock for the army. This book is incredible. Great characters. There's a swamp that they're fighting in, and the way Tchaikovsky describes the swamp, man, you can feel the heat and the moisture and the mud and the insects and the moss and just how oppressive and gross this swamp is. Oh my goodness, the swamp is like a character all in itself. It's ridiculous. Couple of spoilery things. I'm going to talk about the ending of this book and some of the romance stuff as well as some of the stuff that happened. So if you want to read this book, go read it. I'm just going to talk for like 2 seconds about some of the spoilers, but if you don't want to be spoiled, go away, come back when you're done reading this book because it's amazing. So the romance part of things. Basically, what you find out at the end of the book, Denland wins, okay? Emily works her way up to a lieutenant by the time she's done. She's very brave, very courageous, holds out against the Denlanders the longest. And you find out that the king of Lascane paid assassins to kill his cousin, the king of Denland. Then they established a parliament, and then Lascane invaded Denland. Not the other way around. So, Denland wins, takes over Lascane. The soldiers are sent home. Emily goes home. Mr. Northway has kind of given her this way to write letters because of military censorship. She can't write what she wants home. So he's given her a way to write him letters with a personal messenger where she can just bare her soul and tell him all of the crap she's going through and how she feels and all this stuff. And it really bonds her to Northway and really breaks down a lot of the walls they had up. So basically in the last scene of the book, the king is on the run. They're searching out pockets of resistance and trying to squash any rebellion. The Denlanders are. Emily sees the king, and they have Giles Scavian, her young warlock friend, who she really likes, and who actually she boinked uglies with in the war. They have him captured, and they're going to execute him because he's a warlock. And how the magic works in this society is that the blood of the kings is magic, so when they touch a warlock and imprint their magic on them, then the warlock can use the magic. If that king dies, their magic goes away, and the warlock is just a normal person. So the king is basically found with a bunch of brigands in the forest, and he's trying to convince Emily to start a rebellion for him and take the country back from the Denlanders because, you know, she's this big hero of the war and everyone loves her, and she's like the lion woman of Lascane and all this stuff. He has Kristen Northway captured and brought before her to kill because he thinks that's what she wants. Emily turns around and shoots the king dead because she knows that it's a lie, that the king is a bad person. He's the reason all this war started. He's the reason her friends have died. All this hardship has gone through. The country is in a terrible state, and she knows it's his fault. And, oof, man, the ending was crazy. And she ends up with Mr. Northway because she realized that Scavian is a man of the king. He's so fiercely loyal that she can't ever really relate to him in the way she can to Mr. Northway. And I don't know, I want to talk about that because I'm like, man, just the stuff it says about corruption in the government and the steps she's willing to take to correct the wrongs done to her and her country, just, man. Emily Marshwick, one of my new favorite characters. She is incredible, man. She's so good. Guns of the Dawn. Check it out. Masterpiece work right here. As always, be kind to each other.